Thank you, ladies, gentlemen, and all future student interns hoping for a permanent position working at Audi for taking your time to listen to me today. I'm here today to inform you all about the most important feature in a car, safety. I'm sure you can all agree with me in saying this. Without safety in a car, your life will be put in grave danger when you're driving a vehicle. Now, I've done my research into the company Audi and found that all of your modern cars feature not one, but all three of the following safety features. These include crumple zones, airbags, and seatbelts. Auto safety has come an extremely long way in the last few decades, and one of the most effective inventions which have been added to the modern car are crumple zones. Crumple zones work by managing crash energy and absorb the excess energy impacted on the car when it crashes within the outer parts of the vehicle, rather than the driver of the car feeling all the energy impacted on them. Crumple zones can absorb 6 to 12 times more energy than steel during a collision. They also prevent the passenger side of the vehicle from feeling impact and decrease both of the car's occupants' risks from injury to a large extent. Airbags have saved thousands of lives since their introduction in the early 1980s. If you have a collision with something such as a building, an airbag will inflate in less than a tenth of a second to protect you from the forces of a head-on collision. There are three parts to an airbag. First, there is the bag itself, which is made up of a thin nylon fabric. Then there is the sensor, which detects a collision force equal to running into a brick wall at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Finally, there is an inflation system, which is filled with sodium acid and potassium nitrate and react extremely quickly to produce a large pulse of hot nitrogen gas, filling the bag up, which enforces the protection mechanism. The airbag bursts out of the steering wheel, dashboard, or car door, and about a second later the bag is already deflating in order to get out of your way and also allowing you to easily get out of the vehicle if necessary. While seatbelts do occasionally contribute to some serious injuries, nearly all safety experts agree that the simple act of buckling up your seatbelt could dramatically increase your chance of survival when in a car crash and can reduce risk of death by 50% according to the NHTSA. A seatbelt helps to prevent injury in the event of a car crash by reducing the velocity of a body as it experiences a sudden decrease in speed. Due to the fact that an abrupt stopping force could contribute to a passenger's injury, the material in which a seatbelt is made from is designed to allow for a small amount of movement as the body tries to move forwards. This is the retracting mechanism, which when the belt tightens becomes loose to reduce the amount of slack in the material, helping to secure the passenger to their seat. There is a lot of science behind all this, and it has to do with Newton's law. Newton's first law states that every object will remain at rest in a straight line unless compelled to change its state by the action of an external force. This tends to be defined as inertia. An example of this theory is prevalent in a car crash. Imagine you are driving at high speed, say 80 kilometers per hour, and you hit a brick wall. Your body, according to Newton's law, will keep moving at the rate in which the car was moving, 80 kilometers per hour, despite the fact that the car has stopped. This can only be stopped by something being in front of the person to create a stopping force. Safety features featured in a car slow or even stop the car's occupant's movement when involved in a car crash. A large issue discussed by the public is if self-driving cars are beneficial to society, as many people argue that the technology is just not up to standards, and that if we rely too much on self-driving cars, we become oblivious to situations that need quick reaction time, which self-driving cars simply don't possess. Approximately 32,675 people died in car crashes in 2014. Over 90% of the crashes were due to drink driving, distracted drivers, and fatigue. As a majority of these accidents are caused by human error, self-driving cars could potentially reduce the rate of automobile-related deaths, as they have the upper hand in their aim to save lives in stopping to avoid accidents. Although this does not mean that society can completely rely on these cars, as if an unexpected object comes around the corner, the self-driving car does not yet have the technology and ability to stop on such short notice.
Created using Powtoon.